The Awakening. In a land where the sea sings to the sky, and the sky hums back with a breezy reply, lived folks who revered the balance just right between the watery depths and the land's hilly height. Then, one day, with a rumble deep down below, a Leviathan woke with an eerie glow. Its massive form rose from the sea's darkened heart, bringing waves that made the bravest souls start. In this land of shaking ground and tidal waves high, a group of odd souls dared to ask, why? First, there was Zara, with her hair like the night, a mage young and bold, with a touch of strange light. Her powers were weird, not the usual kind, for she spoke to the winds and danced with the mind. Ostracized and scorned for her unusual flair, she sought the Leviathan with a determined air. Then there was Grax, a warrior of old with scars from battles and stories untold. Seeking redemption for a past so marred, he joined the quest, his face stern and demanding. The Leviathan's rise churned the sea and the land, towns flooded, and fields ruined by a watery hand. Fishermen's nets lay empty, boats tossed aside, as the Leviathan's shadow spread far and wide. They met in a tavern, dimly lit and relatively small, Zara with her cloak, Grax towering and tall. "See here," said Zara, "this beast isn't just myth, it's a puzzle, a mystery we need to untangle forthwith." Grax nodded slowly, his voice deep and grave, "We'll face this beast, be it cruel or be it brave. But know this, young mage, the path's fraught with danger, and in this twisted tale, we're not the only stranger. For in shadows lurked others, with intentions unkind, a cult, dark and twisted, with a deluded mind. They whispered of power, of a prophecy old, of the Leviathan's might, and fortunes untold. So set off our heroes into a world turned askew, where the sea roared its wrath, and the cold wind blew. With each step and spell, they'd uncover the truth of the Leviathan's awakening in this tale uncouth. In the village where whispers twirled in the air, Zara and Grax sought secrets to bear. An old bookshop stood, crooked and bent, holding tales and truths of ancient events. "Look here," Zara said, her eyes all aglow, "a tome that speaks of the Leviathan from below. It tells of a prophet, old Bartholomew the blind, who saw what others couldn't in his mind." Grax took the book, dust dancing in the light, his fingers turned pages, and his face turned white. "The prophecy," he read, "speaks of the sea and doom, of a beast that awakens and brings all to gloom." "But wait!" Zara exclaimed, "there's more to this tale. It's not just of doom, but of a balance to prevail. The Leviathan, it seems, is not just a beast, but a guardian of sorts, from the west to the east." As they pondered the words, in the corner of their eye, a shadow lurked close, a figure quite sly. Grax and Zara, curious and bold, followed the figure into the alleys cold. They overheard murmurs. A plan was made by cloaked figures in the dark, their faces in the shade. "The Leviathan will rise, and we will be ready," said a voice, smooth as silk, steady and heady. Grax and Zara exchanged a worried glance, realizing the cult's reach was not mere chance. In taverns and squares, in markets and streets, the cult had its claws in many feats. Our journey's not simple, not merely a fight, Grax whispered to Zara under the moonlight. It's a battle of wills, of truths, and lies. We must uncover the real from the disguised. Back at the inn, plans were laid on the table to find the truth as much as they were able. For the Leviathan's tail was twisted and turned, and the truth of the prophecy was what they yearned. So we venture forth, with eyes wide and keen, said Zara with a spark, fierce and unseen. To peel back the layers of deceit and fear, and bring to light what's hidden, what's near. Grax nodded in agreement, his resolve like a shield, to the depths of this mystery until all is revealed. For the Leviathan's story is ours to unfurl, in this sea of shadows, this whirling world. And so our heroes set forth, in a land under a spell, where secrets lay buried and truths to foretell. With the book in their hands and courage in their heart, they stepped into the dawn, a new chapter to start. Off they set, with the sun on their backs, Zara with her spells, Grax with his axe, through forests deep where the trees whispered tales, over hills where the wind told of old, forgotten gales. They met a man with a cart full of wares, who spoke of a path but warned them of bears. Through the whispering woods you must quietly tread, for the trees have ears, and secrets are easily spread. The woods were alive with sounds soft and sweet, leaves rustling tales beneath their feet. Zara listened close, with a curious frown, while Grax watched the shadows as the sun went down, out of the woods, into the plains wide and vast, where the sky touched the earth, in a horizon so vast. They camped under stars that told stories of old heroes and beasts and treasures untold. In a village of stone, near a mountain's tall peak, they heard of the archives they sought to seek. A place of old magic, of knowledge and fear, guarded by riddles, not far from here. It was there they met Lana, a cultist in doubt, who questioned her faith, her mind in a rout. I joined for the truth, for answers I yearned, but now I see the chaos and the bridges we've burned. Lana spoke of the rituals, the chants in the night, of the Leviathan's power, a terrifying sight. But something feels wrong in the depths of my soul. Is the path we tread right? Are we playing our role? Zara listened and nodded, her eyes kind and wise. Sometimes the truth is hidden in lies. Join us in our quest, help us find the key, unlock the truth, and set the doubts free. So Lana agreed, with a heart heavy and torn, to leave the cult where she once was sworn. Together, they traveled through valleys so deep, over rivers that whispered secrets to keep. As they neared the archives, under a moonlit glow, they prepared for the truths that were hidden below. For in the forbidden knowledge, in the shadows so stark, lay the answers they sought. In the deep, in the dark. At the foot of a mountain, under a moon so bright, lay the archives hidden, shrouded in night. Zara, Grax, and Lana, with hearts brave and true, stood before the entrance, hidden from view. A riddle guards the door, Lana said with a frown, spoken by ancients, in lore handed down. Answer its question, and inside you may pass, fail, and the guardians will not let you trespass. The door, old and mighty, spoke in a voice deep and grave. What is that which gives freely but always you must save? it can bring forth new life or let old things die, ever-changing and constant under the sky. Zara thought hard, her mind like a whirl. Could it be water that gives life to a pearl? Grax shook his head. No, it's more than that. It's time, the answer, as sure as my hat. The door opened slowly, with a creak and a groan, revealing dark halls where secrets were sown. Inside, the guardians stood, tall and stern, their eyes filled with fire, making our heroes' stomachs churn. Pass our tests, the guardians decreed, only then, the ancient knowledge you read. The first test was of courage in a room of dark fears, where each faced their past, bringing some to tears. The second was a test of wisdom, a puzzle so keen that it twisted their minds like nothing they'd seen. And the last, a test of heart, a moral plight, to choose the greater good or a personal fight. Zara was torn between her power and the group's needs. Her magic was strong, but caution she must heed. Grax faced his past, a mistake that haunted his night. To forgive himself or continue the fight, and Lana, once a cultist, now with friends so dear, had to decide, was her old life worth a tear? Together, they pondered, their choices so stark, in the depths of the archives, in the whispering dark, with courage, wisdom, and hearts open wide, they passed the tests with each other as their guide. The final chamber opened, revealing truths untold of the Leviathan's past in scrolls ancient and old. In a cave beneath the waves, where light seldom shone, lay the lair of the cult, in darkness, alone. Zara, Grax, and Lana, with scrolls in their hold, approached the lair, brave and bold. The cave twisted and turned like a serpent's spine, walls dripping with secrets in the dim, eerie brine. Glowing glyphs on the walls, in a language so old, telling tales of the Leviathan, brave and bold. The air was heavy, with a chant so profound, a rhythm that echoed, a mesmerizing sound. Figures in cloaks, around fires that hissed, dancing shadows cast, as the rituals kissed. And there in the center, a figure stood tall, the cult leader, his voice a captivating call. Welcome, seekers of truth, of the Leviathan's grace. Join us in our vision, in this sacred space. His eyes, like the ocean, deep and vast, held secrets of the future, present, and past. Zara felt a pull, a curiosity keen, while Grax stood wary, his stance so lean. Lana trembled slightly, her past coming alive in the presence of the leader, where memories thrive. See the truth, he whispered, in the depths below, where the Leviathan waits for the final show. He spoke of a world reborn, under the sea's embrace, of a new order rising in the Leviathan's grace. Even Zara, with her mind so bright, felt a moment of doubt in the flickering light. But Grax was resolute, his purpose clear. We seek the truth, but not one laced with fear. Your vision is clouded, with power and might. We stand for balance, for what's just and right. The leader smiled, a smile so sly, then come and see, let your doubts fly. The Leviathan calls to those who dare to embrace the depths and the truths we share. So deeper they went, into the lair's heart, where the sea and secrets played their part. In the gloom of the deep, with a truth to unveil, our heroes stood ready to end this tale. In the heart of the lair, where shadows danced wild, stood our heroes three, no longer a child. Zara, Grax, and Lana, with courage anew, faced the cultists' wrath as the tension grew. The leader, with a grin, raised his hand so high, summoning beasts from the sea and the sky. "See our power," he cried, "and join our will, or face the Leviathan's wrath, its hunger to kill." But Zara was quick, with a spell on her lips, weaving magic from her fingertips. A flash of light and a gust of wind sent the beasts reeling, their forms thinned. Grax, with his axe, stood firm and true, remembering a battle under a sky so blue. A flashback hit, of a fight gone wrong, where he stood tall, but not for long. His mistake had cost him a friend so dear, a memory that filled his heart with fear. But now he swung, with purpose and might, defending his friends in the flickering light. Lana, once lost, now found her way, confronting her past in the cult's disarray. She remembered the day, she donned the cloak, seeking truths, but woke to find it a joke. With each cultist she faced, she offered a choice: find your path, listen to your inner voice. We're not pawns in a game, but seekers of truth, not lost in lies, but bright with youth. The battle raged, in the lair so deep, where secrets stirred and shadows crept. But our heroes stood together, a formidable sight, against the cult's madness, against the fading light. Zara's magic, Grax's strength, Lana's heart so bold, wove a tapestry of courage, stories untold. For in this battle of wills, where truth was the key, they fought not just for themselves but for the right to be free. In the aftermath of the battle, in the silence of the lair, our heroes stood weary yet fully aware. For the task was not over, the greatest yet to face, to connect with the Leviathan in this deep, dark place. Zara, with her magic, began the ancient rite, drawing circles in the air under the faint light. Grax and Lana stood guard, their faces set in lines, knowing this moment was a crossing of times. As Zara chanted softly, a vision appeared, a glimpse into the Leviathan, as it neared. Memories flowed like water, deep and vast, of a time when the Leviathan was free, not cast. It swam in oceans wide, under skies so clear, a guardian of depths, with no trace of fear. But then came the cult, with chains of dark spells, twisting its purpose into a living hell. The Leviathan's sorrow filled the room like a wave, its longing for freedom, its wish to save. Zara's heart ached, her eyes brimming with tears, feeling the weight of the Leviathan's years. Grax, seeing her struggle, stepped forth with a groan, placing his hand on the circle of stone. "Take my strength," he said, his voice like a drum, "for the battle is not over, it has only begun." Lana joined, too, her resolve firm and bright, "Let our will merge, let's bring this to light." Together, they stood, their powers entwined, creating a bridge, their fates aligned. The Leviathan felt their presence, a touch so kind, a contrast to the cult's control, so blind that in that moment of connection, a choice was made, to break the chains, to no longer be swayed. With a roar that shook the sea and the land, the Leviathan broke free from the cult's command. Our heroes, though drained, smiled in relief, for they had given the Leviathan a chance at reprieve. With the Leviathan free and the lair in disarray, our heroes braced for the cult's final fray. The leader, enraged, his plans gone astray, called forth his followers for one last sway. "Stand with me," he thundered, his voice a storm, "or face the Leviathan's wrath, in its truest form." But the cultists hesitated, their faith now torn, for the beast they worshipped was no longer forlorn. In the chaos that followed, a figure stepped through, a face from the past, a friend once true. It was Grax's old comrade, thought lost in the fight, now standing with them in the fading light. "Grax, old friend," he said with a sigh, "I was blinded by power, by the cult's lie. But seeing you here, steadfast and bold, reminds me of the days of old." The cult leader, seeing his followers doubt, unleashed a fury with a terrible shout. But Zara, Grax, and Lana, with allies newfound, stood firm against the tide, their wills unbound. The battle raged a dance of light and dark, where every blow was more than a mark. It was a fight for the future, for a new dawn's light, for a world where the Leviathan swam out of sight. In the end, it was the leader alone, standing amidst the ruins, his dreams overthrown. He looked at our heroes, his eyes losing fire, defeated not by force but by his mire. As the sun rose on a new day so bright, the world seemed different, bathed in new light. The sea calmed, the Leviathan gone, leaving a world reborn, a new era dawned. Our heroes looked on, their journey at the end, with hearts full of stories and time to mend, for they had changed the course of fate in a tale of courage, love, and hate.